Alison and gentlemen.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How are we all?
Good morning, Lord Sugar.
Fair enough. Can't read. Right. Apologies. Well, we're all here, so I accept there's no apologies. So we won't decide whether to accept apologies. Right, declarations of interest. Has anybody any disclosable pecuniary interest that may have in respect to items on the agenda? Has everybody signed a book, by the way?
No, we haven't signed
Right,
the
I have.
Also, Martin, can you put the thing on, please? No, it's not
Oh, the projector.
Or any other interest interest that may have in respect to items on the agenda? No, everybody with that? Okay, has everybody read the minutes from the last meeting dated the 13th of October?
Yes.
And Martin, have you read them?
Yes, I've read them.
And,
Thank you.
would you like to
Alison very efficiently sent them to us in draft.
Yeah. Somebody like to propose those minutes for me, please? Somebody like to second them for me? Thank you. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you very much. I shall now sign the minutes from the last meeting.
I think the chairman will be taking a lot of casting votes possibly today. If you vote against something opposite to me,
Right, that won't be happening.
everything's going to fall to Vince.
Right, there we go. Is that alright?
Yeah. Thank you.
There we go. Moving swiftly on. Right, there are two items on the agenda that have been taken off the agenda.
They've already been determined by RCC.
Yeah, which is item number on plan application. It's item number 5. Sorry, subsection 1 and 12.
So that's the first one and the second, the third from last. Okay.
And,
It is,
yeah.
it is I, and then it's X, I. Right, so moving swiftly on. So, are there any deputations by the members of the public? No. Planning applications, right, so the first one that we've got is fell large conifer on Laurel Holly yew, freesia tree and 2 yews on Stamford, 35 Stamford Road. I will refer to the Tree Warden's report.
Thank you. So I forgot to do.
There you go. 35 Stamford Road. Right, for information, the freesia tree trees are very brittle, so I recommend to fell. As for the others, they are close to the boundary of the property. Some are very near to the garage and some look rotten, so regretfully I agree to fell. That is the proposal of the tree, or the proposal, that is the recommendation from the tree warden, and I will fully endorse it following the information we've received in the pictures.
Can I ask?
Sorry?
25 Stamford Road is presumably on the
35.
the south side. So it's the side where all the big trees are.
Yes.
And this must be a perspective issue here on how easy or otherwise it is with all those big trees, because they're so
There's a lot.
prevalent.
Yeah.
And does this come up from time to time that the residents who move in want to take someone down? I would have thought it would, because they're so light obscuring.
We've had a lot for Stamford Road.
I see. But as far as this meeting is concerned, it's just another tree and it's not regarded as special because it's in that group.
It's in that group, yeah, that's how I understand it.
Well, it's probably a TPO, that's why we've got it. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
TPO?
Tree preservation order.
I have no problem with a conifer. I have a problem with the holly tree. It's not been made clear to us which tree is actually rotten, but without going too much into detail,
Oh,
Stamford
that's the
Road
tree.
does come up quite
Oh, there's a
often.
holly tree.
with things about people moving in and perhaps people building things too close to the trees. I tend to take the view in Stamford Road that the trees, and many of them have TPOs, obviously these don't, the trees are there, it's a nice screen, and I'm fearing that a lot of these trees are just being cut down.
For the sake of cutting down?
Yeah, I don't get it. We've seen it in other parts of the town, like South Street, where someone moved in and didn't like trees, and it's devastated. So I personally would support a conifer, because I don't see why you need to just a conifer. Anyone can plant a conifer, but holly takes years and years to grow. Same with, I think there's a yew tree listed.
Would you like to propose that then, Martin?
But I don't know which of the ones are rotten. Is there any details of which one is rotten?
Yeah, there's the holly tree.
Is that rotten then?
Well, it looks like it's...
It says the holly tree.
These can be very self-starting things. Squirrels,
Yeah.
holly trees.
Just says on Joyce's report that they are close to the boundary of the property. Some are very near to the garage and some look
There's
rotten.
the holly.
So regretfully, I agree with felling.
Yeah.
The conifer could be this way.
Yeah, could be.
Have we got a picture of the conifer?
But the holly is right next to the building, but obviously someone planted it there already.
Or a squirrel did.
Yeah.
But looking at that trunk, that's been there a long, long time. So but Joyce is saying recommending felling, but she's saying for all of them. That's what's not clear.
It does say, so regretfully I agree with the felling.
Because there's a lot of trees.
That is a lot of trees.
You see, that shows efforts
big old
on...
items, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they are big.
But that shows efforts to preserve it, and we've got a situation like that on Burley Road with a very old tree. So I don't know, unless we don't have details in the report that these are dangerous or anything. I don't know what
the tree wardens refer to it as okay to fell.
Yeah.
Conifer.
Yeah.
Can't really. She
basically said that the freesia tree, is it freesia?
Yeah.
They are brittle, so I recommend to fell. As for the others, they are so close to the boundary of the property, some are very near to the garage and some look rotten, so regretfully I agree with felling.
And included in that statement is the huge conifer.
Yeah.
I don't think we should go against Joyce.
No,
because I think the tree people at Rutland County Council will look at this and may...
At the end of the day, we're just going to make a recommendation that we agree or we disagree.
No, fair enough. It's helpful just to know.
Yeah.
But I'd like to say that we agree with felling, providing that the officer responsible at RCC has looked at it and agrees on that line.
Would that be your proposal?
Because they're experts on them, I'm not.
That'd be your proposal?
If that's acceptable.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to
subject to the office, the tree officers.
So we agree with felling, subject to the officer, the tree officer at RCC.
Agreeing
the principle of felling.
If he or she
that's
says
your
it's
proposal.
dangerous.
Would you like to second it? All those in favour? Carried. Thank you very much.
I think that's the easy way out.
Right, item number 3. Remove one holly tree to ground level on 10 Penn Street. We all know where Penn Street is? Yeah, is that something?
Penn Street.
Not that one. It's not in that, is it?
Not in that.
Right,
That's the one.
tree warden's report on this. Tree of Penn Street. This tree
There's only that, Michael.
is a variegated holly. It is extremely old and has 2 trunks. Although it adds to the street scene, it is planted, self-seeded, very near to the front bay of the window. There's only one tree in Penn Street apart from this one, but the others are all bushes. Reluctantly approved felling.
It is a shame if it's only one of two, so still.
Yeah.
I won't agree on Joyce on this because I think they can prune it away from the window. And it's not like a normal tree where it could grow back, or some particular type of tree where it could grow back quickly. I learned that in my own garden, that if you prune a holly tree,
Holly, it takes
a long time.
Yeah.
It was a mistake I made. But if it's carefully pruned, I don't see it that it's a problem. And if it's like one or two trees left, it's there. So
Would that be your recommendation, proposal?
it's just a comment at the
Yeah.
moment, but
Michael?
Michael hasn't had his comment.
Well, before you just follow that proposal, I suppose the alternative, on the point of only two trees in Penn Street, is fell it, but put another tree in somewhere.
Mm.
But maybe that's an unreasonable request, is it?
Yeah, we can't make a request for them to plant. Sometimes in the past it's been negotiated with the tree warden. It's purely, once it's gone, it's gone.
I think that the pruning may be an option that we go down first because of its.
Okay, let's do that.
She said it is old. And it's got two trunks. Maybe our recommendation would go for the pruning option, maintenance option prior to its. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Who wants to propose it?
Go on, Martin. Go for it again.
Is it all me?
Right.
No, I don't mind proposing it.
Propose.
If that's the word we're going to
Yeah, if everyone's happy with that.
And I'll second it.
All those in favour? Carried. Thank you very much.
Lots of trees.
Right. Item number 4. Bradshaw Taylor, linear group of sycamore trees, reduce the height from the guttering of adjacent building to reduce side growth and to reduce side growth from the hedge parallel with existing conifer hedge. Also to reduce the height of the guttering from adjacent building like Cavell's on the old mill yard, South Street. Everybody aware of the property? Where it is, yeah?
Somewhere near a fire station.
Yeah.
both these premises are owned by the same people, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah.
Bradshaw Taylor's is
Yeah.
Cavell's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joyce's report on this, Cavell's Old Mill Yard. The row of sycamore trees are very tall and close to the building. On Sunday, I viewed them in the high winds, and each tree was swaying and at times touching the building. I agree that the height of the trees should be reduced, not removed, although this has not been suggested at this point. They add to the street scene, so
I'm not sure what this proposal as written here means. Reduced to the height of the...
reduced to the height of the guttering.
The whole of the linear group of sycamore trees, or...
So that's in the line, isn't it?
It's a bit of tree,
Yeah.
a bit of tree care rather than tree.
Right, all of them it's referring to. How many there are?
That's how I understand it.
Right.
Linear group of trees is the line of trees. I don't know why they didn't put line of trees, but
Right. Side growth to form hedge parallel with existing conifer hedge. Also to be reduced to height of guttering adjacent building. Sounds sensible.
yeah.
Sounds sensible.
Yes, no mention of felling.
No.
No?
I think Joyce has put that.
Okay.
I would propose that we accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, seconded by Michael. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Again, Bradshaw Taylor, upgrade existing. That's item 5 and 6. Can we do these together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
listed
we'll do
building consent.
Sorry?
It's because it's listed
Yeah,
building
Yes.
do
consent.
the same together.
Yeah.
You move on. South Street.
Quite a big area.
Oh, it's massive. It's an old map. Millburn Hotel.
So that's existing.
Yeah.
This is proposed.
Is this the whole of the big building that comes towards South Street?
This is actually the back end of Cavell's, if my interpretation is right.
Must be the existing store, so I'm assuming that's the big outdoor place, and then at the back of there.
Okay. Proposal. Upgrade the existing store.
So it must be, yeah, so I don't think I don't think you can see it from the road, can you?
Can you not? I see.
There's the shop back, the
It
outdoor
looks like
place.
to me it's a sort of restoration
Yeah.
project, and they might be bringing a store into some better use.
It's actually inside the actual yard itself. It's not
Yeah,
facing out onto either South Street, Mill Street.
and they're using wood, oak, rather than plastic windows and doors. So.
I've got no major concerns personally, but open to you gents.
No.
I have
No concern.
No concerns?
No.
no. I would imagine that the conservation officer will be looking at it, particularly as it's a listed building.
Absolutely.
So it would be. I don't see it.
Would you like to propose that? Will we accept?
Yes.
Okay. Is that yes, you will
Yes.
propose, or you are going
Yes.
to be saying yes?
Yes, I'll take yes.
Michael,
And second.
Secondly.
all those in favour? Thank you very
And
much.
maybe the same for the one below.
Yeah, both of those as
So
well
we'll
together.
repeat that on the list.
Item number 7. Alteration to boundary wall fence, Floors House, 34D High Street.
Yes.
And we've also got number 8 as well. Shall we do those two together?
Mm.
Yeah.
So there's the back of Floor's house, isn't it?
Yeah.
South end of it.
Would anybody like to start me off on this one?
I don't have a problem with it because, as we know from previous applications, that anything that's been done there is being done in consultation with the sort of heritage man, conservation officer.
Conservation officer, yeah.
Everything down to doorknobs and light
Yeah.
switches on that building because of its significance. So
Is all of that garden attached to Floor's house? Rear side garden?
Looks like it's not back anyway then, doesn't it? 'Cause that's the high street.
Kind of big.
It
it's
is.
sort of used as
If you're not familiar with the actual, the helicopter view of Oakham from South Street to the High Street, it's actually quite a lot of land.
Lots. Secret lots.
Yeah, because imagine the length of Mill Street, they run parallel. So you've got quite a big.
they're all very puzzling and interesting access rights and things because the part to access that you have to go through the club and Moore's estate agent's land to just get to that.
So we're talking about that fence. What sort of fence is it?
It just says alteration to the boundary wall fence.
No, isn't it?
Because
Actually states.
the original wall appears to have crumbled away to nothing. There's just a little bit up in the corner of the church.
Really?
Yeah, there is nothing.
So what is there along that green line?
There's I think it's just, gosh, you're right, I see it every day. I think it's just an old fence. And if you look down into
It's bricks, it's going to be bricks to match.
It's going to be bricks.
It says bricks to match.
Okay.
Oh, that's good, because it used to be a bit like the walls that you see at the top end of South Street with that, I don't know what they call that sort of plaster, the bees, like the mud and bricks.
Watland door type.
Watland door, yeah.
So it's going to be replaced with brick, in keeping with the adjacent property. Any problems, Michael, there? Martin, there?
No problem.
Proposed by Michael,
Second.
seconded by Martin. All those in favour?
Obviously that is subject to the
Subject to the conservation officer. Item number 9. on the agenda is the Royal Agricultural Society. I thought it was Rutland Agricultural Society. To put installation of car park lighting for use by visitors to the Rutland Agricultural Society, Oakham Rugby Football Club, Royce Rangers Football Club, Rutland Showground Way, Barleythorpe. I'm fully in support of illuminating this area. I think the development they've done down there is obviously a progressive development, and they're slowly but surely working on the car park and the additional areas that when they get the money to approve it. So
6 by 6 metres, is that 6 lights each 6 metres tall? 2, 3, 4, 5, there are 6 positions there.
what I'm concerned
No, yeah. 6 lights, 6 by 6 metres. Oh no, 900.
10 metres, just shy of 10
Light bollards held at 950.
millimetres.
That's just a metre, isn't it?
6 times 6 metres. They're just going to be bollard lighting then, just under a metre high.
That seems to be. Right.
6 metres.
Well,
6
underneath
car
it
park
says
lights,
950 millimetres.
No, the bollards are the ones at the end, towards the clubhouse.
Yeah.
So
And
there's a
then
mix.
you've got the 6 metres, you've got 6 units at 6 metres high in the car park square where the big arrow is.
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I see. Follow the line.
What?
Yeah.
Well, the only objection, presumably, is by people in the area who will object to a lot of light.
There's no, well,
It's
there's
I
no
don't think
there.
there is
No.
anybody there,
No.
is
And
there?
not going to be.
No.
But there are environmental issues there, and what I would like to say, which can be done, is that the lights are not on all the time. That area is, see, does it say there? Is it, I would keep, yeah, see, they mention it there, to keep light pollution to a minimum. But I would say that, like shops are told in this town, it's not a wildlife thing, it's just because of the conservation area, so that when they're not actually using it for anything but the lights are switched off, because it's becoming a bit like Blackpool illuminations in that area, and yes, it's the bypass and all sorts of things, but there's a lot of wildlife in that area, and I would imagine that Langham Parish Council, who didn't like the development there, probably would say the same. I think
Here's what they say.
It does say that, you know, with the interest of Langham Village and the well,
like they turn their floodlights off on the rugby pitch.
Yeah.
To me, I just think it's unnecessary for street lights as such to be on it. They need to be able to be just to turn them off.
yeah,
So when you go down there now at night, there's nothing on, and that's not bad for the environment and the animals in there. And
so can we put that in, providing that the lights are used only when necessary?
we need lights because we don't want people running people over and things.
Absolutely.
So I think it needs to be that they do seriously take that into.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Langham's suggestion is not to do the 6 metres. A lower light bollard and funnel cover system would be more desirable.
Yeah, replace all the other 6 metres with bollards.
Whatever they mean by lower light
Because it could
bollard,
look like
height, have they?
it could look like another sort of petrol station stroke supermarket car park when it's not being used.
Yeah, but the view from the bypass is quite restricted because there are quite some tall trees between the car park and the bypass itself.
When you
There are some very tall trees between the car park and Langham.
But when you light up something, it makes a difference.
Oh yeah, I know, the hockey pitch on Billings Road, on Kilburn Road. You can see that from the Hubble telescope.
Do you have a view?
My personal view is that because of the way of the land, is that actually it's lower than Langham, and 6 metres isn't taller than any of the trees between the rugby club and Langham.
It's the height of a house, isn't it?
6 metres.
Sounds like about 26.
6 metres is 3 metres is 9 foot, so it's 18 foot.
18, 20 feet.
It's
About
bigger than the average
two hours,
street light,
two.
isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not going to be.
But they
It's not
would
going to
be.
be a beacon, is it? It's going,
No.
to, be, it's going to be shining down. So.
yeah.
But I would say, providing it's only used when necessary and managed.
And that shouldn't be difficult these days for them to have a switch to pull in when the
Absolutely.
caretaker goes down or whatever, if they're going to be open. Because they're not open every day, are they?
No, no,
Somebody just pulls the switch.
they won't be able to afford to run them every day.
That's what I mean, it's energy
Yeah.
costs,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So providing it's managed.
Well, all through the winter, if they develop more activities there, which must be the plan, because quite a big lot of money's been, then you'd think they'd be on for 5 or so hours every evening.
Well, it doesn't matter so much earlier in the evening, if it's sort of like from 4 o'clock until whatever, but I think they could maybe, if it became that they were using it every day, then they could be timed. Could be timed so that people didn't forget. But I wouldn't want to see them like streeting in a
Constantly
built-up
on,
area
yes.
constantly on.
Yeah.
Well, 6
From
metres is
dawn
a
to
good deal
dusk.
lower than the sort of floodlights you have on a rugby pitch or
Yes.
football pitch.
Yes.
So I think now we've talked it through.
I think 6 metres is the height of a street lamp.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in my view, it's first floor window viewing, because I know that there are several bits of woodland between there and Langham. My main concern would be the bypass, but again you've got trees between the bypass and interrupted view. So my view would be to propose that we support this application.
Yes.
Really support it with that condition.
With that condition, yeah.
With,
that
for
it's
their
managed.
benefit, that they
Yeah.
have reduced costs, but also there's less impact on the
Yeah.
environment if they can control that they're not on.
Yeah. Was that seconded, Michael?
Yes.
Yes. And all those in favour? Thank you very much.
Did you get that extra bit? Hans?
Yes.
Thank you.
Number 10. Lounge extension with continuation of roof, over garage and porch, 155 Cole Overton Road, Oakham. You know where this is?
I haven't written actually. That's meant to go over to the road.
It's just two buildings down from the turning for
It's, if I'm
Redden
right,
Road. Redden Road is the last one there.
Yes.
On the going up, the
Yes.
bottom one is Redden Road. That's Ferrers.
Right.
You've got Hector's Way where old Ferrers Primary School used to be.
Yes.
So it's opposite. It's facing opposite Hector's Way.
Right.
Personally, I've got no concerns.
Doesn't appear to be.
No. No concerns at all.
No.
But I'm open to. Martin, no?
no problem.
Would you like to propose it for me then, please?
Yes, I'll propose that. We have no issues.
Seconded.
I know those sort of houses.
All those in
are
favour?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We support that one. Item number 11, garage extension with shower room to rear with 68 Ladywell. Again, I've got.
Hasn't that been done?
Sorry, no. It's number 12 that was scrubbed
No,
off.
it's this the next one.
Yeah, so this garage extension with shower to the rear. Again, I've got no concerns with this in Ladywell. It's in keeping with the surrounding area.
Basically, it's just that to that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Propose accept.
Proposed to accept? Yeah.
You can't get a car in those garages, can you?
No, you can hardly spin a cat around in those garages.
Rear. That's the rear on the right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're not taking away the garage, are they?
No, it's a garage extension
Okay.
with the shower to the rear.
yeah, the extension to the garage seems to be access, just that little narrow bit. I don't, it's in line, it's not gone out too far past it. It's not quite in line with the building, is it? But, staggers slightly to the conservatory, but I don't have a problem.
Okay.
It's not
So,
changing the view of that.
Michael's proposed it, would you like to second it?
Yeah.
All those in favour? No, thank you very
I'm
much.
going to vote for the last one and say no.
Sorry?
I'll just propose something and then vote against it.
No, don't. Number 12, as I said, has already been yes, determined, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Right, number 13, replacement of flat roofed garage and front porch with a new pitched roof and provision of new front porch infill. 5, the Vale.
Big plot, isn't it?
The Vale is massive.
Isn't that the one with the swimming pool?
No, the one from the swimming pool is on. Is that the one?
Yes. It is the
As you
one.
go in, the one with the swimming pool is this side, I think. Is it?
No,
Is it that side?
that's right.
It's the one where you can see it.
There's no bearing on there.
Indeed. I was just trying to locate it.
Yeah, no, as you're coming down, you come down the dip, you've got number 9 or number 6, whichever it is, just been redeveloped. And then you've got Swimming Bridge, and it's the one that you see with the swimming pool logo.
They claimed their land right up to the swimming bridge a couple of years ago. That's why the fence looks quite new.
Right.
It used to be open along there.
Have you taken photos of the names that have been described on the Swimming Bridge? Have you seen them?
Oh yeah, I've always, sorry Richard,
Anyway.
but I've asked the museum about the relevance and where it came from and nobody knows.
Really?
No. The rumour is that it's Oakham schoolboys and then others it's people who went to their death, but that's denied.
Yeah. Back to the
It's come from an old building.
development there. I've got no major
New
problems.
pitch roof and new front
Yeah.
porch. No problem.
I've got no problems at all. It's
No.
in keeping with the original property.
And no one sees it.
Close accept.
Close to accept by Michael. Martin, would you like to second it? Seconded by Martin. All those in favour? Carried, thank you very much. And the last one, it's XIV, so it must be 14. Sorry?
No.
To seal the north end of an existing porch with a brick wall, to the south end with a new doorway, remodel driveway and install new fence to the south of the property at 10 Liddell.
So the south is on the right hand side as you look at the house.
South's down here.
That's it.
South's where the hand is now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what they're saying, a new fence to the south.
Yeah. New fence to the south of the property, which we've got no problem at all. Remodeling of the driveway. Do they actually give the details of the driveway, what they propose to do?
A floor plan.
Must be a good floor plan.
North elevation. Let's see.
That's
Oh,
probably,
there's some pictures here.
that's probably one of the best examples of existing, approved and new I've seen, to be fair.
Yes.
So the application says existing
It's
detached
been
private
drawn,
dwelling
hasn't
located in quiet cul-de-sac.
Somebody's drawn. The pen by the looks of it, but
I don't know.
I don't think it.
I think that's actually been done by Cricket Road, don't it?
That's what we're looking to
But
do.
it looks like they're blocking their
Does it say what the fence is going to be?
the garage.
sorry,
That's
the,
not mentioned, is it?
Replacement.
It does, it says to seal the north end of existing porch with brick.
But isn't that a garage? Rather than a porch from that front. When
It
you
is
look
a
at
garage.
yeah, that's where it's
Well, no,
going.
there is a there.
Oh, it's just the-
previous application has changed.
Oh, it makes it, it's the perspective of how that's been drawn, and you see the photo, it's better to look at the photo of it. Because that's, the garage is a separate building in front, but it looks like it's on their drawing table, doesn't it? But,
It's not going to be like that. We've seen at least one or more
so they're turning the garage,
round in some way on a previous application.
something.
That's the garage bit. That's the front door.
So they're going to
Or the
brick that up.
porch. They're going to brick that up, yeah.
Brick that up and then extend it to the side. No, brought that through, sorry. And then change the interior.
I don't think any of this interferes with anybody else.
No.
It's quite a big.
No,
it's
it's really internal and ease of access, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
they're creating a door into the garage, which is not good for security.
Or fire spread, but there we
Yeah,
go.
external doors. Yeah, that's another thing, fire spread. They need a proper external door on there, but many people put cardboard, don't they?
Yeah.
And closure on it, provided it meets all the necessary requirements by building regulations. I propose we accept this
Yeah,
application in full.
Yes.
because we don't include a fire door.
No,
See, it's
that's
why the building regulations.
providing it conforms to all building regulations. I propose to accept this plan in full.
Yeah, because ideally that door should be like a front door
Yeah.
or a solid.
Seconded by Michael. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you very much.
Well, that wasn't to close the meeting.
Thank you very much.
No, have you turned that off now?
We haven't closed the meeting.
Sorry. I would like to close the meeting. It's now 11:07. No, you can turn it off.